Now that you have a handle on how the pencil tool works, understanding how the paintbrush tool works is simple. It's almost identical. Let me show you the key difference, though, between the two tools. Again, with a pressure-sensitive tablet, you're going to get much better results with the paintbrush tool than you would if you're using a mouse or a trackpad. But if we come over and choose the pencil tool, with the pencil tool selected, if we click and drag out a path, you'll notice by default it's set to basic. This brush definition, of course. If you use this brush definition dialog box, you can see the different brushes that you can apply to that path. If we come over here and click this charcoal feather, you'll notice it's now stroked that way. Now, we'll talk about brush appearance in much greater detail in a future course, but I want to point out that when you're using the pencil tool, you can come over and select a brush after the fact. The big difference here with the paintbrush tool, you can choose the brush right away, this definition. If we go ahead and select charcoal feather again, if we start painting with the paintbrush, if you click and drag, notice that you've painted with that particular style. So with the pencil tool, you apply it after the fact. With the paintbrush tool, you apply it as you're drawing. So that can be a pretty big difference. The other thing that you'll notice with the paintbrush tool is by default, this line is not selected, this path that we just created. If we come over and choose the selection tool and click on it so it is selected, and then come back and choose the brush tool, B is the keyboard shortcut, by the way, the behavior is the same. If you click and drag, you'll notice you're modifying that current path. If you double-click the brush tool, you get the same options that you had for the pencil tool. You will notice, however, in this options section, keep selected is not chosen by default. Remember, what keep selected will do is leave that path selected after you lift up the mouse. So if you want to continue to modify it, it would already be selected, and you wouldn't have to take the additional step of highlighting the selection tool and clicking on the path to add or modify that path that you created with the brush tool. So there you go. The paintbrush tool is very similar to the pencil tool. The key difference, however, is the paintbrush tool can paint with an actual brush definition other than basic, where the pencil tool cannot.